Brazil is famous worldwide for its passion for football, fiery dances, and breathtaking tropical landscapes. But behind this vibrant charm lies a side of Brazil that surprises many visitors, strange laws and bizarre customs that can shock even the bravest travelers. Before you decide to explore this South American giant, be prepared for 12 unusual prohibitions and weird facts that have left the world amazed and sometimes a little scared. Are you ready to discover the unexpected side of Brazil? Prepare yourself a cup of hot cocoa, get comfortable on a good sofa, and join us to discover fascinating things. Alright, let's get started right now. Number 12, Snake Island. Welcome to Snake Island, where every square meter hides more venomous snakes than anywhere else on Earth. It's forbidden to go to Snake Island, blessed by nature for beautiful scenery. However, Ilha da Queimada Grande Island in Brazil is the leading habitat of the world's most venomous snakes. Ilha da Queimada Grande Island, located off the coast of Brazil, also known as Snake Island, is one of the most dangerous lands in the world. The island is quite large, about 430,000 meters, with an average density of 5 poisonous snakes per 1 meters of land. The land is a terror for fishermen passing through here because there are no predators on the ground. The snakes stranded on Snake Island reproduce uncontrollably. According to estimates on the island, there are about 2,000 to 4,000 golden spearhead vipers and many other types of extremely poisonous snakes. You need to know that a bite from a yellow-headed cobra can kill an adult with many symptoms, such as pain, swelling, vomiting, bruising, internal bleeding, kidney failure, brain hemorrhage, and leading to serious muscle necrosis after only 2 hours. The island has been left uninhabited. The family of the lighthouse keeper on the island was the last person to appear on the island in 1920. It is said that snakes snuck into the house through the windows and killed the entire ill-fated family. According to legend, snakes first appeared here because of pirates to protect the safety of buried treasures on the island. Ancient pirates released many poisonous snakes here. However, this is still a big question, because when the owner of the above treasure returns, they also have to face a nightmare called poisonous snakes. Because of the level of danger, the Brazilian government has banned people from setting foot on this island. The government strictly controls visits to Ilha da Queimada Grande. Currently, only the Navy in this country and researchers or videographers are allowed to come here to maintain the lighthouse, as well as learn about the pristine ecosystem, extremely unique on this dangerous island. Number 11. Hand gestures to avoid in Brazil. If you think the familiar OK hand gesture, where the thumb and index finger form a circle, while the other fingers point up, is harmless, think again before flashing it in Brazil. What's a common sign of approval or all good in many Western countries, especially the US, is actually a major taboo down in Brazil and several Mediterranean and Latin American cultures. There, that simple circle formed by your fingers isn't just a harmless gesture, it's considered vulgar and offensive, symbolizing the male genitalia in a way that can easily offend locals. But that's not all. The devil horns hand sign, beloved by rock fans worldwide, where you clench your palm and raise your index and pinky fingers, is another dangerous move in Brazil. Instead of rocking out, this sign suggests your wife has been unfaithful, which could lead to serious misunderstandings or even confrontations with locals. So if you have a habit of using these hand signs casually, it's best to leave them at home before visiting Brazil. When it comes to gestures, knowing what's okay and what's not can save you from awkward moments or worse. Number 10, to not enter the slums. In Brazil's slums, wandering strangers become instant targets in a deadly game controlled by ruthless gangs. This is the most important rule to keep you safe when coming to this country, because the slums here are controlled by illegal criminal gangs. The fact that a stranger suddenly wandered into their territory seemed like a big threat, and you will most likely encounter danger. On YouTube today, there are still many videos with titles like "Images that cannot be shown on TV." And most of those images come from Brazil, accurately portraying the face of this multi-ethnic country. Countless videos of hostage kidnappings end in bloody images, where the only solution is for the police to find an opportunity to shoot a sniper at the perpetrator's death spot, the center of the forehead. The police cannot always shoot so accurately, and if there is a mistake, the hostage is the one who suffers the worst consequences. But in Brazil, that solution is extremely normal, and the Brazilian police force is always complained of being terribly incompetent and corrupt. Stopping cars with guns and shooting victims in broad daylight corruption is also a common occurrence in Brazil, as if people had to brush their teeth when they wake up. At the same time, Brazilian police are just as dangerous as that country's criminals. When they are ready to stop a normal person in the middle of the night, take off their shoes, take a baton, and whip them several times on the soles of their feet, and then harass him for some money before letting the subject go. In panic, they cling to very simple excuses to ensure security. We must control all night walkers in case they are criminals in the slums. Number 9. It is forbidden to show discomfort with food. Not every food in the world is easy to eat, especially when you're in a new place. But in Brazil, it's crucial to keep a positive attitude, no matter what's on your plate. Showing displeasure while eating is strongly frowned upon. Brazilians have a deep respect for all kinds of food, seeing it as a gift and part of their culture. So even if something tastes unfamiliar or difficult, it's important not to show disgust or complain. Additionally, using your hands to eat is generally taboo. Brazilians prefer utensils typically holding the fork in their left hand and the knife in their right. It's also considered rude for adults to eat ice cream or chew gum while walking down the street. When enjoying popular street foods like sandwiches, hamburgers, pizza, or fried chicken, Brazilians usually use paper towels to handle the food. And cutting pizza with a knife and fork is common to avoid mess and maintain etiquette. Following these customs not only shows respect, but helps you blend seamlessly into the local culture. Number 8, it's forbidden to flaunt your wealth. You might not realize it, but Brazil is known for having one of the highest crime rates in the world, making it essential to avoid showing off any personal valuables while you're there. Flaunting wealth, such as wearing flashy jewelry like rings or necklaces, is considered a serious taboo and can put you at risk. When you go out, it's best to leave valuable accessories at home and keep your phone or camera tucked safely away in your pocket. In some parts of Brazil, tourists are even too afraid to take their phones out in public for fear of theft or robbery. Crime, especially robberies, happens frequently, so staying cautious and avoiding any display of valuables is key to your safety. To protect yourself, focus on keeping a low profile and don't attract unwanted attention by showing off your possessions, particularly in areas known for lower security. Prioritizing your safety above all will help you enjoy your visit without unnecessary risks. Number 7. The mysterious Amazon forest. Behind the vibrant colors of Brazil lies a dark reality neighborhoods controlled by ruthless gangs and a police force feared as much as the criminals themselves. The Amazon is the world's largest tropical forest, with an area of 6,700,000 kilometers, of which 60% is located in Brazil. It seems like you need to take a few survival courses before coming to this South American country, because if you accidentally get lost in the Amazon forest, only those skills can save your life. Because even if you are armed to the teeth, it is difficult to guarantee your life when in the Amazon rainforest alone. The first problem you have to face is not food or water, but the natives. Here, there are many mysterious and dangerous tribes living in the forest. They are not friendly. Any foreigners who trespass into the area they live in will become prey. Even though their weapons were rudimentary, their knowledge of the terrain also made those carrying guns and bullets terrified and killed. In addition to humans, legendary creatures of this forest will also easily take your life. Mosquitoes, ants, giant spiders, jaguars, anacondas, and panhas will always put you in danger. In the Amazon rainforest, there is also a giant spider whose leg span alone is up to 24 centimeters long, enough to fit on your face. With this size, it can attack even a bird, although it only likes to eat insects and does not eat human flesh. You should not touch it because it is poisonous. Many people are afraid of ant pionhas in the Amazon rainforest. In reality, they do not actively attack like in the movies, but when you are healthy, a bleeding scratch can stimulate the killer instinct of these creatures immediately. The real horrors are still large animals, such as jaguars. It resembles a large cat, second only in size to lions and tigers. Its bite force and speed will kill you in an instant. Although there are not many jaguars in the Amazon rainforest, once you encounter one, your life can only depend on God's will. You need to know that this is the only cat species that specializes in hunting crocodiles. As for anacondas, I probably don't need to remind you much about how dangerous they are. The best advice is not to go to the Amazon if you are not a researcher. Stay in the cities and have fun with the people there. It will be better for you. Number 6. Land of only women. Single guys, take out a pen and paper and write down this address right away. I'm sure it will be paradise for you no matter how long you've been lonely. You will definitely find your other half in my life. We would like to introduce the town of Noa Duque Cordo, where there are many beautiful young Brazilian women inviting single men to live because most of the local men are married. The town of Noiva do Cordo in southeastern Brazil is almost exclusively female. It is located about 90 kilometers from the capital Blue Horizon MZG state and is famous for its many beautiful women. When mentioning the town of Noa de Cordoro in Brazil, most people think of a place full of beautiful and cheerful girls. This place is famous as more than 90% of the people are women. Of the 600 women, about 300 are of working age and unmarried. Here, men over 18 years old will go out to make a living and only a few come home on weekends. Women were forced to shoulder the town's work themselves due to the lack of men. The situation caused some girls to call for single men to come live in the town of Noa de Cord. The people are almost feminist. Women are responsible for all areas of life, from farming to construction planning or religion. Together, they built a prosperous town without the need for men. Of course, there are still some men living here, but the number is very small and they don't do any important work. Some people are husbands but only appear at home a few times a year. But in the end, women still long for a husband to share everything with. After information about the town thirsty for a husband was published in the media, many boys expressed their excitement. However, it's not because they're unmarried that the girls in Noiva do Cordo are easygoing. They also have strict conditions set for their other half. Men who come to town looking for wives also need to know how to wash dishes, do laundry, cook and clean the toilet. Here, everything must be equal.
To this day, the town of Noa do Daro is still one of the most special places in the world, with old women who have never kissed anyone.
Number 5. Being late is a beautiful culture in Brazil. Being late is considered a beautiful culture. Surely you remember the crazy feeling of having to wait for someone during an appointment. Someone who is late makes everyone hate them. But in Brazil, if you are the one who arrives early, you are the one who is discriminated against by society. A writer writing about Brazil once said, "People who are in a hurry will feel miserable when they come to Brazil." This is not wrong, because local people often do not show up on time for appointments and always arrive very late. BBC reporter Lucy Bryson had an unforgettable experience when she was invited to a party in Rio de Janeiro. Lucy arrived at the host's house a few minutes after the invited time and was surprised because the living room was still littered with unpicked food bags. The host appeared after taking a shower and jokingly said, "I'm not ready yet." Due to their leisurely life beach attitude, combined with the congested traffic situation in Brazil, or simply stopping to talk to a friend in the middle of the street, locals do not have expectations and also do not appreciate punctuality in communication. Party plans are often affected by the above situation, so the party host considers it a polite attitude to hold the party later than the party opening time. That has become an unwritten law in Brazil, most clearly shown in the city of Rio de Janeiro. However, the Brazilians also draw a line arriving late. They will try to arrive on time when going to meetings and business meetings, because it is not part of social events, festivals, or meeting friends, where they just arrive at any time and are at least 30 minutes late. Number 4. Invited nudist beaches. Brazilian authorities are very strict when it comes to acts considered harassing or obscene, yet they allow nudist beaches to operate freely and comfortably. Across 5 states, Paraíba, Bahia, Espírito Santo, Rio de Janeiro, and Santa Catarina, Brazil, has up to 8 official nudist beaches. The most famous among them is Praia do Tambaba, the country's oldest nudist beach since 1991, known for its stunning natural landscape. While many tourists might feel surprised or uneasy about visiting these nudist beaches for Brazilians, it's quite normal and accepted as a space where people can comfortably be naked. However, respect and privacy are absolutely essential. Never take photos or videos of others without their consent. Just as you would want your privacy respected, you must honor the boundaries of others to maintain a safe and respectful environment. Number 3. Drink beer alone. In Brazilian culture, drinking beer is much more than just enjoying a beverage. It's a powerful social ritual that brings people together. Sharing a beer creates a warm space for conversation, connection, and celebration with friends, family, or colleagues. Brazilians are known for their love of parties and rarely drink alone. Instead, they cherish the moments when beer flows alongside shared stories and laughter. Typically, when enjoying a 700 ml bottle, they pour small cups, not only for themselves, but also for those around them, even strangers, inviting everyone to join in the camaraderie. This deeply social approach to drinking helps explain why Brazil ranks among the world's top consumers of beer and alcohol. Major events like carnival festivals and other gatherings are almost always accompanied by beer and wine, amplifying the joyous atmosphere. The combination of a vibrant social culture and a wide variety of beers on offer has cemented beer's place as a central part of Brazilian life and celebrations. Number 2. Passionate about music and dancing. Brazilians were born to dance to music. That's the unanimous impression every visitor takes away from this vibrant country. Brazilian music is a rich tapestry of diversity and color, mirroring the country's lively culture. Take samba, for instance. No one can hear those irresistible rhythms and graceful moves without instantly thinking of Brazil. Samba, the heart and soul of Brazil's world-famous carnival, combines infectious melodies with dazzling dance steps that captivate audiences from the very first beat. The story of traditional Brazilian music is a fascinating blend of contrasts. Sacred meets profane rural mingles with urban indigenous roots, intertwine with Portuguese, Hispanic, and African influences, and old traditions merge with contemporary sounds. This unique fusion is what gives Brazilian music its unmistakable identity, with samba standing out as the shining example. But samba is just the beginning. Dances like forró and capoeira, an exhilarating mix of martial arts and dance, also celebrate Brazil's cultural richness. More than just entertainment, these dances are powerful expressions of Brazilian heritage, festivals, and pride. For locals, dancing isn't occasional. It's woven into daily life, a joyful and spirited way to embody the warmth, excitement, and openness that define Brazilian culture. Number 1. Okay, wait. It seems that nature pays a lot of attention to this South American country. In addition to Snake Island and the Amazon forest, Brazil also possesses one of the strangest phenomena in the world, the Pororoca wave, appearing only once every 2 years between February and March. Waves 6 to 9 meters high, lasting for dozens of minutes, wipe out everything in their path, from houses, trees to animals. Not a tsunami, not a toxic wave, but the destructive power of long waves is not inferior to the two friends above. Twice a year, between February and March, the Atlantic Ocean angrily creates waves, rolling up the Amazon River, Brazil, creating the longest, greatest wave on Earth. This phenomenon is called Pororoca by Brazilians, starting from the tides in the Atlantic Ocean when approaching the edge of the river. In fact, this phenomenon occurs in rivers with shallow water, narrow and funnel-shaped river mouths. The tide passing through the shallow water of the river mouth will create waves up to 6 meters or even 9 meters high and last for about 30 minutes. At dawn, tourists and surfers can hear the hissing of monkeys and the dull growls of other animals signaling high tide. When it reached land, it almost destroyed everything from houses to roadside trees. However, there are still many people who like to experience the feeling of danger by surfing on these waves. While tides are usually stable and occur, periodically, estrine, tidal waves are a very difficult phenomenon to predict. The occurrence of this phenomenon depends on a number of factors, among which wind and river depth can vary between seasons. In recorded history, the Pororoca wave that took place in 2003 lasted up to 37 minutes over a distance of 50 kilometers, causing heavy damage to a large area and immediately causing people in this area to fall into poverty housing and poverty. Thank you for taking the time to explore the strange and special things in Brazil with me. Let me know what you think about this special country below in the comments section. Brazil is a vibrant and diverse country filled with both fascinating attractions and surprising oddities. Learning about its unusual laws, unique customs, and extraordinary natural phenomena like Snake Island, the Amazon rainforest, or the Pororoca wave left me feeling both curious and a little cautious. On one hand, these features highlight the rich culture and breathtaking nature that make Brazil stand out, a country full of energy and character. On the other hand, some of the rules and situations reflect deeper social challenges, safety concerns, and dangers that travelers must be aware of. Personally, I believe it's important to view Brazil with a neutral perspective, not judging it solely based on the negatives, but also not romanticizing everything. Like any country, Brazil has its strengths and weaknesses, and it's this contrast that makes it such a unique and compelling place to explore, depending on how one chooses to experience it.